You know, despite all the swerving I do at times, especially as it goes for game development in the past 6 months at least, I do feel that one of the most exciting parts, as we get into Cthulhu medical history, is essentially the decisions I get to make when starting, or basically just starting a new project in general. It doesn't have to be game dev, but it's one of the most important, one of the most exciting parts. Medical history things. So I'll talk about it as we get into the timestamp here, as we get into Cthulhu medical history. Hey, Mimi? Question mark. But yeah, just keeping in mind here, while we do have to deal with medical history, yeah, starting a new project is always one of the most exciting parts. Another exciting part is the mid phase, in which you might run into limitations which allow for innovation, but Tachi-san, charisma, dexterity, light, strength, and maybe every single stat check, knowledge being here, but okay, I know I've used that phrase before, and it sounds like I just love saying that phrase, but I do think it applies. Innovation in limitation, or just any road bumps that happen in the road. But I'll speak more as we try not to autopilot too much here, as I do need to make sure I have everything under control. So, we could do a kick run if I really wanted to, but I think we're still going to go for a... Well, never mind. I just realized that I already picked my sublocation. So, I guess the Army Knife it is. Sailors, Recluse, Footage, Story, Auteur. So definitely doing Footage first, into Recluse, into Story, yeah, and then Auteur and Cult at some point. If you fight the boss, if we end up fighting the boss of Cult, this Footage mystery first would not be great, but we'll do the best with what we've got. Can we sell these notes? We can. No random item stats. I'm just going to go the whole mile and sell the medical kit too. We don't have Ward because we're replacing it with something else, so I need something of value. I could run the meat cleaver. I'm going to wait for the Army Knife. Oh, this could hurt a lot. That was a lot of doom, but I needed a better weapon. Really should have enabled the occult store, but too late. Funny enough, because we have Auteur and stuff, I don't remember actually, never mind. I know I'm visiting the village at least a few times, so we'll still get value out of the police patrols in the village, but hey. But yeah, starting a new project, and again, I usually develop games in RPG Maker. I've tried diving out to things like Game Maker, things like even Pyrite, so on and so forth for visual novels, but yeah, I usually end up not fluctuating or flowing, drifting back to RPG Maker. By the way, more hallucinations. I'm going absolutely insane. And I didn't write notes. All I knew is that I wanted to talk about game dev and the exciting parts of just starting again. I think right now, I actually wanted to focus on 2 energy drinks, by the way. Not that it's going to help too much, but take what it can get. But yeah, I really usually, and you've heard me talk about this before. If you haven't, I'll talk about it now. But I do like to usually plan things out before I start on something. It usually takes me a day, maybe even 2, while I do other things on the side. Usually, in the case of RPG Maker, making character faces, because that is one of the parts that I've just become accustomed to. Now, there are some wonky things that are happening because I'm now using MZ compared to MV, but it's not things that I can't deal with. One of the very specific things is if I wanted to use assets from specifically the in-engine character maker. Let me say that again. In-engine, I-N space, engine, character maker. There's some wonky stuff that happens, and I don't think I ever really tried to figure it out. I mean, I did a few searches over here and there, but essentially... the problem boils down to, as we take Recluse here, the problem boils down to transparency pixels appearing when you try to edit these pictures. Now, it's fine in, funny enough, it looks fine in programs like Paint, but if you try to transfer images from Paint to, well, if you try to transfer images from the character generator, or just even default assets that are given to you by RPG Maker MZ specifically, not MV or any other earlier RPG Maker, MZ. If you put that into Paint and you put that... If you go from RPG Maker to, say, GIMP, you get transparency pixels. So, if you try to use an in-between, like just in this example Paint, just to try something out, you don't get to transfer the transparency. And if you do, you end up with transparency pixels anyway. That's what I found out. So, I'm shrugging in real life, as I say. Either way, it's something that I've just decided to band-aid fix, I think 6 times in a row, so... but yeah, what ends up happening is I just end up band-aid fixing it. It usually involves a background of some sort, but you won't notice it because I'm always editing usually the system file of the Windows anyway, and if that made no sense to say, just basically know that I end up fixing things for myself. We can take 6 reason damage, as odd as that sounds. But we will take ultimately 5 because we heal 1 reason by forgetting a spell. But otherwise, yeah, sub-air all the time. I wasn't taking bonus damage from somewhere, right? That's just me taking a lot of damage. Anywho, I will take Fast Learner. We should probably take around like 10 to 20 quote-unquote HP's worth of damage, but it's not the best, it's not the worst. Might as well take it over anything else. Although I think I had a perception increase as well, but it's too late now. So we take Story. If you run into Cult, Story is still more painful than Cult, even with the boss. But, I mean, that's arguable to some extent. But I think overall, Story is going to be harder than Cult. Cult with boss, specifically. And also keeping in mind, we do get 12 damage if we hit all of these attacks. So that would be nice. But we have to basically flip a coin, and we did not flip the coin well. So... my next question is, can I do this? 60%? Gonna go for it. That way I can gamble on the 3rd turn. So we get to go for it. We get Coughing Blood, so rip my Dexterity. And I do need to get rid of that, so good thing I held on to my funds. But we can also grab the painkillers while we're here. But yeah, as we get back to game dev, just because nothing else to talk about at the moment, basically making character faces. If you've seen one of my thingamajiggy posts, if you've seen one of my discussion page posts, I was wondering whether or not I wanted to gamble strength here and take an injury, but I do work with graphics a lot. I like tweaking graphics a lot here and there, so what ends up happening is pretty much the whole day, I just end up making faces. Again, I don't want to go too far, and funny enough, I'll talk about the character limitations in a bit, or the fact that I wanted to limit the number of characters and I ended up, well, we'll see what actually happens, because I haven't gone gung-ho yet. As I take apple juice for stamina. Did I get the follower, by the way? Hold on. This is important. I did not? No, they were in Story. I'm going crazy. I thought I was in Cult for some reason. Why am I doing this to myself? Anywho. I think I'm actually going to rest here. I know our Doom is high, but we need the HP to survive. I think I have 2 encounters left. But yeah, making character faces. So... I don't do much. I usually try to tweak. If you run into... I mean... a thing I like to do with my character faces, I'll say this much because it's apparent when you see it happen, get tiny cuts, oh, don't hurt me anymore, please, with injuries, is that I like to put eyes closed versions of character faces. And by character faces, I mean, for those who don't know RPG Maker in general, or RPG Maker made games, is that... there are faces that appear when characters talk during dialogue. That's what I mean by character faces. So that's what I'm kind of working with. They are each, I think, 144 pixel by 144 pixels with 2 rows of 4 columns. So 8 faces you could put on a page, on a single graphical asset, or an image in general. But yeah, I just work on each slot by slot. It takes me about an hour to make up to 8 faces, usually around like 4 to 8, depending on the quality I like to add. But usually I'm not doing anything spectacular either. It's just really small modifications or edits based on what I see with RPG Maker type graphics, essentially. Basically, I try to stick with the design of whatever I'm working with. In the case of RPG Maker, that. But obviously you've seen me try to just draw things on my own at times, but they still kind of fit the dimensions of what I would make for RPG Maker assets, essentially. Sailors or Auteur? We'll do Auteur now. We take 2 reason damage because I don't know where. And we can double up on knowledge here for the sake of saving on stamina, but... yeah, we're just gonna do it. If we lose stamina from a curse or something, sadness. We're 65% doom at 4 mysteries, although I probably still need to rest regardless. Guess I'll find out, though. We do have first aid, but my stamina is what I'm worried about. But keep in mind, I'm not gonna heal yet, because I might want to do Desperate Struggle. So, I succeeded that. Well, at least I succeeded that to lower Doom. I think that was -4 Doom, but anywho. But yeah, just interested in seeing what I want to add into. Because I definitely know I want to have at least 4 to 6 characters. I know I said I was going to do 3 other below, but again, I had to swerve because of all the crazy things happening on the internet, and just in general, real life, and censorship if you didn't know. But, yeah, it's not great. Eldritch Amulet, but we have First Aid. And by that I mean I don't need to equip the Eldritch Amulet, but off we go. 5 Charisma, thank you. And we really want to pass this check. Oh my goodness. Well, good thing I have painkillers. We take burns for this because I think it's always going to be burns, but we can get rid of that. So, we can also get rid of anything else, but I don't want to gamble too much. Who am I kidding? I think there's one more thing. Never mind, I lied. Anywho. Could grab a pack of cigarettes, deciding not to because my Doom is high. And off we go. But yeah, I usually like to pick... Oh, nice 11 roll, by the way, game. Usually like to make eyes open, eyes closed variants. So whether a character is happy, sad, neutral. I usually like to stick with neutral expressions. But sometimes if a character is, by default happy, no reason not to make them happy, right? I really should either Witch Tree for stamina or rest. But I'm going to go out on a limb and hurt myself here. Because oftentimes, hey, as it turns out, I don't actually... survive when I say I'm gonna go into this location or try to finish the mystery with 2 stamina or 2 reason. But anywho, I don't think there's anything else I can do. Question mark? Let's think this through. And we have to fight a boss here. So we take reason damage, but we're getting reason back. Now the issue is that unless we had if we had to attack boost or something, it would have been bad. I think I would rather brace here. Yeah. Because we're guaranteed to deal 6 damage anyway, so this is more damage per point of reason lost, essentially. But anywho. And we get 2 experience for 1, so I mean, taking damage here actually... I for some reason thought that you would take... Oh, no, because we're losing reason damage, but we also have Fast Learner, so we should be getting 3 experience per turn? No, I'm going crazy. Or did I not take Fast Learner? I do have Fast Learner. But then it's Morbid Inspiration that's giving me 2 experience, question mark? Yeah. Huh, I'm going crazy then. Well, either way, we get to desperate struggle our way out of this. But, anywho. But yeah, just planning out my game. Working on character assets, specifically the faces. The sprites are usually taken care of. I am using default sprites. But the faces are not to my liking, because that's at least something I would highly recommend tweaking at least a few things, whether it's gameplay, assets, music, so on and so forth. Or not tweaking, but trying to work on your own take on assets here and there. Whether they're your own assets just made up 100%, or you're using characters from base RPG Maker. In the case of RPG Maker MZ, Raid, Priscilla, Gale, so on and so forth. And if, for nothing else, random trivia, as we level... I should actually level up here, and actually heal Reason instead. No, you know what? We're going to take an anatomy class. Okay, good. Actually, this is going to be better for us, so we're going to equip the Gruesome Totem and have 8 max Reason, but should be fine with that. And off we go, into a location. Never mind, I'm going crazy. I thought I picked the otherworldly location option. Anywho. Yeah, and then the last thing was, I think essentially planning out the structure of my story. I know I just talked about that, but it is an important part of what I like to do. By the way, we do need to throw 2 things away. We do have a stuffed toy as well, so I can get rid of something here. Probably hallucinations. If we get another curse, I guess pain, but could get rid of masochistic as well, because I would like to have max reason, but it's fine. I'm pretty sure. Did I ever get the thing, by the way? I don't think I did. I'm gonna toss the handcuffs just to be sure. Okay, yeah, I didn't actually, but we're not on timeline B anyway. I could have thrown away one of these 2 energy drinks. I didn't want to though, so hey. But yeah, planning out specifically the plot of the story, because I do like to try to plan things out. I do believe in kind of or on average, I believe in the notion of coming up with the end of a story. and then working from there. I usually go end, beginning, and middle in terms of what I like to work on. At least planning out. Now, obviously, programming everything, I want to start from the beginning. Or I like to start from the beginning. As we have no second checks, so we just walk up this lighthouse. The scary thing is that I don't have enough stamina at the moment still. And even with that, yeah, even if I took both energy drinks out, I wouldn't be able to do a thing. So I guess my question is... Yeah, because even if I took dexterity there, I would be at 7 dexterity. What I can do is trade off reason while I'm in this encounter. So, what we're gonna do, because I should be able to survive this, and I have the Eldritch Amulet as well, is that we're gonna pray to trade 2 reason for 1 stamina. So it's a good thing we ran into Takshisan first, although we got a dislocated shoulder for our trouble. Unless I'm... Oh my goodness, 95% miss. Well. And then, yeah, we patch ourselves up anyway, so we might as well have traded the 2 reason for 1 stamina. And we should be able to survive. But, yeah, planning things out. I'm going to continue onward. Map design is probably going to be another thing. I did do a little quick check on if I could do the map events I wanted to. By the way, why did we take so much Doom? Oh, Cthulhu. We lose reason, get Doom. Well, I guess I will see you in the next video. I did all the yapping I wanted.